If you would like to have a picnic in style wherever you are and in less crowded spaces, maybe that's the picnic table you want to build. And I will try to show you one way how to accomplish that. Apparently, the modern picnic table is based on the design of a man named Charles Nielsen. Nielsen's first design was for a collapsible picnic table that could be transported by automobile. In fact, I like the idea of making a portable picnic table myself. Since I have a ton of lumber available, I didn't have to go out and buy a lot more, besides a few more Douglas fir slabs. The rest is yellow cedar I have laying around at home. From finished jobs I ordered extra and didn't need it, or the client changed his mind about their project. The downside is that I have to process the lumber to get it to my desired dimensions. But isn't that what woodworking is all about? Planing, cutting, measuring, and smelling the odor of fresh cut wood. Although not all wood types smell pleasant. Some species smell like pee or vomit. Excuse me. Creating a lot of wood shavings which could be used as animal bedding, landscaping or fire starter, it's part of the job and unavoidable. After resizing the lumber, I started to lay out the picnic table to mark my mortise and tenon, the overlaps from the legs to the seat support, and discovered a brainless mistake. So I started swearing a little, because now I have to use the other half of my 3x10 yellow cedar, which I saved to use for another picnic bench in the future. The second reason this is annoying, I have to do the planning, cutting, measuring and resawing again. Well, such is life. Anyway, I did take the numbers of my old picnic table, which I wasn't exactly happy with. There's no point in showing you these measurements because I'm going to change some of them. You probably wonder what mistake I made. I cut the wrong pieces of wood in half. So instead of cutting the 5-footers, I cut the 6-foot pieces in half. Alright, so that is what we want, and I think this looks way better. So this is gonna come higher. About, let's say 13 inches. 13 inches from the seat to the top of the table, and a total height of about 31 inches. So I have enough room to cut in a tenon and mortise. I've built like 4 of these things, or 5 by now. It was time to mark and cut the mortise into the horizontal table support and the tenon to the top of the table legs. this looks awkward now, right? It's not lined up. So I'm going to move this over so these two lines line up. Okay, I'm going to push this in like that. See, our lines line up. Now we set this out to the other side. Very simple. Use our angle finder again. That should be good there. Don't forget to drop down your depth. Backwards here, so I should have cut this side first, but because I cut this side first, I'm going to lose support here, and therefore I cut a strip 16mm. I can run this piece of wood by. Do a dry fit here. Measure from the top frame the support for our tabletop to the top support for our bench, for our seat, 11 inches. In my experience, the distance between the bench and the tabletop of a picnic table is most of the time too great, and I really wanted to nail it this time. According to the almighty internet, the perfect distance between the seat and the underside of the tabletop is 10 to 12 inches, roughly 25 to 31 centimeters. I choose to go with 11 inches, and fingers crossed that that'll work. No. Seems to fit. The distance between the top of the seat to the underside of the tabletop is at right now 28 centimeters or 11 inches. So if I add the 2-inch plank, I'm losing 2 inches in between the top of the seat and the bottom of the table. Okay, first of all, we're going to cut the legs to length because that's not going to change. one more thing. Now the next decision would be which side is going to be out and which side is going to be inside. Now the height, what I was talking about earlier, the distance between the seat and the bottom of your tabletop. If this is one of my seats, okay, I then would sit like this. This one over here. The ideal measurement would be 1 inch more, but it doesn't seem bad. It's actually a nice height to sit on. I'm not a tall guy, I'm not the shortest guy. Maybe I didn't screw up at all. For 2 people to sit in between, I think minimum width required for comfortable eating, I think, is 20 inches. Now we have 8 inches extra, so that should give you enough room to get in and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. With my little experience, I figured I could use a dovetail wood joint for the stretcher between the A-frames, but that wouldn't be enough to keep the table solid. Therefore, I had to add braces in a way that would keep the table from rocking side to side, but also make the construction and disassembly of the picnic table easy. Template or jig, and place it to these lines. And double check our measurement over here. Grab your clamps. Hey, carajo. Be more careful. Perfect. Router is round. Just going to take that corner off. Round enough. As my old brain took on the challenge to figure this out, I started tackling the slabs for the seats and tabletop. First cutting off the live edge on one side of the slabs and keep the other side for looks. Now that I had the basic picnic table built, I had my boss try it out and approved, and the time has come to figure out how to make this table collapsible without tools and stable enough so it doesn't move like a cow's tail. After 1 hour or more trying to plane and sand the surface of these fir slabs, I started to realize that I did not have to do this myself. It is just too much work, and when you have someone nearby with an industrial thickness sander, guess what? I dropped the slabs off at their shop and took care of other issues, like fixing split lumber, dressing the ends, filling the cracks and knot holes. Is this necessary, you ask? Not the filling of the cracks, but the fixing of the leg. This is a problem because this is one of the legs and it's split. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put wedges in here. I don't want to split it all the way. I'm going to try to get some glue in here. Polyurethane. Still waiting for the slabs to return, I decided to assemble the A-frames and cover them in linseed oil. I started working on the braces to keep the picnic table from rocking side to side, and even had enough time to make my own beeswax linseed oil mix. And just in time I received a message that the slabs were ready for pickup. After picking up the slabs, I finally could work on the tabletop and come up with a solution how to keep the tabletop in place without screws, nails or any other hardware. A butterfly or bow tie seemed a good idea. Let's try that, I thought. After all, this project is not a piece of fine furniture. It does, however, provide great use outdoors, stationary or not. And if you are new to woodworking or carpentry, this is a good project to improve your skills. Well, congratulations if you made it that far. If you watched this video, I would appreciate your opinion on whether this helps build a portable picnic table for yourself, or was it a waste of time and completely nonsensical? Please let me know. I'm all ears. Thank you for watching. Cheers.